This business vlog is my real startup journey, sharing what it takes to start a business, grow a small business, and build a software startup while staying locked into the entrepreneur mindset. If you want real business advice without the hype, you're in the right place. If you're looking to start a business or you're already running a business, you need to understand how to bring AI into your operation. The founders who learn this will run circles around the ones who don't. And for the next few minutes, I'm going to break down everything you actually need to know. No hype, no buzzwords, just what matters in the real world. Now, before we go any further, let me say this clearly. If you're starting a business, AI should be your first employee you hire. If you're already running a business, AI may become your best employee. It can handle work that used to take teams of people, cut hours of research down to minutes, and produce output that used to cost thousands in outsourcing fees. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is AI? At the core, the AI most of us use today is an LLM, a large language model. For simplicity, think of it as a refined search engine that can also write text, scan vast amounts of information, summarize it, create images and designs, and be customized to fill roles you probably pay people for right now. And here's the important part that most people misunderstand. AI is not really, quote, intelligent, not in the human sense. It is fast, it is powerful, and it feels smart, but it's basically a massive algorithm that follows instructions. As of today, November 2025, it does not learn in the way most people think. It doesn't evolve with every conversation. It creates a small profile of context based on your account and your past chats, but that's not learning. That's just reference memory. If you stay in one chat thread long enough, you'll notice that it starts to feel more tuned to you, but that's only because it's pulling from the earlier messages in the thread, and eventually that thread gets overloaded. After around 50 questions or so, the chat starts slowing down because it's dragging on all the old responses along for context. Once that happens, you have no choice but to start a new chat. And when you do, all that context you built up, gone. You're back to square one. There are two workarounds that help. First, when you feel a chat starting to bog down, ask it to produce a comprehensive summary of everything you've discussed, including all the context, insights, and assumptions. Copy that and paste it into a fresh chat and you're back in business. It's not perfect, but it works. Second, before a chat reaches its limit, have it write a usable prompt that includes the full context of the topic you're working on. Then save that prompt in a Word document and make a context file on your computer. Every time you start fresh, you drop that prompt in and you're instantly up to speed. Now here's why context matters so much. Take the term letter of intent. In the copier industry, that means a customer telling the leasing company they want to return their copier at the end of the lease. But outside the copier industry, a letter of intent is a preliminary contract between two parties. Same phrase, two completely different meanings, both correct. Now if you don't give the AI the right context, it will give you the wrong answer. Not because it's broken, but because you didn't tell it where you're standing. Some questions are simple and need almost no context. Top 5 Italian restaurants in Scottsdale. Easy. But if you want something more specific, like top 5 Italian restaurants in Scottsdale within 1 mile of Old Town, rated 4 stars or better with authentic Italian wine, gluten-free options, and open for lunch and dinner, you need to feed it everything up front. And let me tell you, every time I write a long query, I immediately think of one more thing I forgot. Every time. But that's fine. You add it, the AI adjusts. Just be aware that when you keep amending your query, other results can get dropped quietly. That's a quirk of how these models work. AI is not magic. AI is not a replacement for thinking. It's a tool. And in business, it's a tool that gives you leverage. If you learn how to use it the right way, you'll move faster, spend less, and make fewer mistakes, and operate at a level that was impossible even a year ago. And if you ignore it, your competitors probably won't.
Sunday, December 22nd, 7:38 a.m. Pondering the ways of business. The oracles. I gotta figure out the name. Additional twist to the business concept, which I think could be incredibly effective. I still am a firm believer that Google and search engines as they are today could become obsolete and replaced by these chats as they evolve. They're just not there yet, but I figured out I can get them there. I'm going to create a page with shortcuts to different chats in addition to custom ones for companies. Obviously, that's going to be a big business too. That's what I want to make for Michelle's company to help appeal Renew Alert, is creating a custom GPT or Gemini or both with company policies. Everything can be shared by private links, so it's proprietary information accessible on an intranet or something like that. I don't know how it would work. I think it'd just be an intranet. Yes, and they would just access all their data, company policy. What days do we have off for Christmas this year? What days? HR, when's final enrollment? Every fucking question about their own internal policies and protocols. You can do all kinds of. And so that'll be the customer version, but then there's also the advertising version, which is informational from consumers. And so there's a whole market in terms, I think, of making these things that is just, I don't know if people are getting it yet, but it's just freaking off the charts.
All right, Christmas came and somehow I actually pulled it off. I got all my Christmas shopping done this year. Now look, did we wrap the gifts well? No, we did not. But hey, the gifts got under the tree on time, so that's a win. Also, I don't know what happened to my TikTok, but apparently I landed on the Christmas crack algorithm. And suddenly I'm knee deep in people pouring melted chocolate all over saltines like it's a Super Bowl. I said, fine TikTok, I'll make the Christmas crack. And dang it was good. Too good. On the 27th, I had to clear out the old Tempe warehouse. Offsite sent a few of their best techs to help, and we packed a 24-foot box truck with everything I still had in there. We moved it all into a storage unit a few miles down the road. I'm going to miss that gym equipment. Hopefully at some point I'll have the space to set it all up again and actually use it. I hate moving, but getting everything out of there and into storage felt like a weight off my shoulders. Now I can finally clean the place up and stop paying that $3,000 lease every month. Looking back, I probably should have gone with the Regis office and a storage unit from the start. I would have saved a lot of money. This business blog documents my journey on how to start a business, how to start a software company, and start up businesses from zero. If you're searching for startup tips, business ideas, or how to start a business, start a software business, and how to run a business effectively, as well as different startup business ideas, subscribe for new videos every week.